Yeah, so we get these press conference opportunities where we're not directly on camera speaking to the talent, but we have moderators that we submit questions to, and if we're lucky enough, sometimes the moderators choose our questions to ask. And so we got a couple of those here. And one of those recently was with Jeff Nichols, the director of the Bikeriders. And, one thing about me, I'm going to do my research if I'm going to be interviewing someone about a film. And if I can manage to ask a question that makes their eyes bulge out of their head, I will ask that question every time. And so, yeah, you'll see one of those here as we talk with Jeff Nichols about the Bikeriders and maybe reference a senior student film of his from the UNC School of the Arts that was a reel-to-reel film festival award winner as well.
I want to get to some of our questions that have been submitted. Jeff, let me just continue with you. Thomas Manning of the Critics' Choice Association. You've had a fascination with vehicles in film for your whole career, going back to your UNC School of the Arts senior film, Noble Chrome Pirates. Can you pinpoint a specific origin of this interest in capturing the movement of vehicles? He knows a lot about your career, that's for sure.
Wow. You might know more about my career than I do. It is only mildly terrifying that someone references my senior student film.
This might mean we need to do Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Jeff. How do you feel about that? I don't really want to do a musical.
I'm obviously suited for it. Well, it's a great question. I mean, the truth is, I think, Noble Chrome Pirates was kind of this. It was a short film that was steeped in the look of greasers and kind of 50s cars. So in that sense, it was less about maybe the vehicles themselves and the time period. I was basically ripping off Johnny Cash's song A Piece at a Time, and it was about a group of friends that were stealing car parts to build their dream car. And then once they got it, they all fought over it. And so the two brothers that ran the group put it on some train tracks and had it run over by a car because they'd rather have their friends than their car. But I suppose, yeah, I don't really think consciously about vehicles too much. I know Midnight Special was a chase film, so that's a genre film. I think I probably think about genre more than I think about the actual mode of transportation. The truth is I didn't really grow up in motorcycle culture. I learned how to ride when I was writing the script so I wouldn't feel like a complete fraud. But I'm mainly drawn to I think the people that these cultures, attract, because it's really the people at the center of these things that get me excited more so than the vehicles. I will say this though, standing in the center of 40 period correct Harley Davidsons, it's a pretty cool feeling. It definitely made me understand part of the allure of all it.
All right, Thomas, I absolutely loved the look on his face when that question came to him, and I loved his answer. And you're right, you've always been one of these guys that loves to do the research and loves to maybe pull a question out of a hat that filmmakers typically wouldn't get a chance to answer. So any final thoughts you want to make sure you share on the Bikeriders or that particular interview with Jeff Nichols?
Oh, well, just generally, The Bikeriders is a movie that I don't think nearly enough people saw earlier this year. And I think it's one that we should all seek out. Jodie Comer was also in that conversation, as you saw, and her performance in that was one of my favorite actress performances of the year. I think she's been really interesting in the past few years. She's had performances in male-dominated movies where I walked away thinking back to her performance more than anybody else's. The Last Duel a few years ago, the Ridley Scott film, was a similar case as the Bikeriders. So, Jodie Comer, the Bikeriders, big fan of it all. So.